Want entertainment designed just for you? Then check out customizable streaming TV from Xfinity. It makes your life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity gives you customizable streaming TV options. Enjoy the most free shows anywhere on any device, and even access your streaming apps right on your TV with X1. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply.
The American dream is just that. Just a dream. War is a continuation of politics, only by other means. Politics is a continuation of economics by other means. This is our bank. This is our war. And this is our plan of attack.
Banks have become an essential threat to our democracy. So consider this justice.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio! The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to Sacred Matrix, a divine paradigm of love and universal consciousness, with your host, Janet Kira Lesson and Dr. Sasha Lesson.
Together, we transform the world.
And now, here are your hosts, Janet Kira and Dr. Sasha Lesson.
Hello.
Hold on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sacred Matrix on Revolution Radio at revolution.radio. And I'm your host, Janet Kira Lesson, with my co-host, Dr. Sasha Alex Lesson, and our producer is Thomas Pecker, and our guest is Andrew Raz. And Andrew, on 12/30/17, December 30th of last year. Getting feedback. Let me try adjusting the sound 1 second here.
Sure.
Okay, hold on, everybody. And Andy, we don't need the video, so that will help with the bandwidth.
Oh,
and,
sure. No problem.
Thomas, can you? Excellent. Yeah, just turn off video. And Thomas, can you get Sasha? Is he showing up yet? Is Alex showing up yet? Ahmad? Hello, Ahmad?
I'm getting him.
Okay,
I'm getting him. I can do one thing at once.
Okay. You're doing it. All right. So let me tell you about, oh, come on. Andrew Raz, fighting broken silence on 12/30/17, and about his encounters with non-human intelligence in the spirit world. Michael Harrell of Language Lessons of the Heart channel on YouTube interviewed Andrew about his 4D reality and beyond experiences. During the 100-minute interview, Andrew's skin starts to change from normal to blue to black as he talks deeper about his profound spiritual experiences. I don't know if the speaker on this computer giving feedback. Okay, there we go. This video has over 1,300 views, and it also got the attention of world-known hypnotist regression expert Mary Rodwell. And Mary looked at the 100-minute interview video, and she stated right away after watching it that Andrew is activating more of his ET genetics and is raising his vibration by accessing and activating more of his DNA. So Mary and Andrew spoke via Skype the next day, and as soon as Mary and Andrew connected on Skype, a massive encounter was taking place. And with Mary watching through Skype on her computer, she could see these plasma orbs, one after another, heading towards Andrew's Brooklyn apartment. And Andrew spotted 3 enormous multicolored, multi-level motherships, which Mary saw as well. And this encounter was recorded on Andrew's cell phone via pictures and video. And Andrew, if you could send that to me, that would be great. We're getting some feedback. If you could maybe mute while I'm doing this intro, that will help minimize feedback. That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me just say a little bit more, and then we'll bring you on.
Sure.
So Mary was a key witness, and she can validate Andrew's outstanding claims that he's getting visited every day by a massive amount of ET, UFO, NHI craft. What does NHI mean? And
non-human intelligence. Yeah.
Non-human intelligence. Okay. So then again, on January 4th of this year, 2018, Mary did a hypnosis regression on Andrew. And the regression was phenomenal and revealed Andrew's connection to his Arcturian ancestors and helped Andrew better understand what he's experiencing and why. Okay, so there's a bio and more information, and there's a video of Andrew, and he changed his color. It's all on AquarianRadio.com under today's post on about Andrew Radwell. My apologies, my neighbor is tearing down the jungle, so you might hear some noises in the background. I can't do anything about it. They're all the windows closed, and it's still coming through. Sasha Lesson, are you there? Dr. Lesson.
I'm here, indeed. What we learned is that many of us are really hybrids, and there's some kind of feedback coming in this machine. Anyway, many of us are indeed hybrids, and when the time is right, we become aware that we're dual or even more than dual souls. And when somebody is aware of their Arcturian ancestors, it means several things. One, our genetics are like subpersonalities. They have all this coded information of our ancestors built right into our genes. That's one aspect of it. But the other thing is, when you're a dual soul from another race, they usually single you out to be an ambassador. That's what happened with Stuart Swerdlow and Susie Hansen and a bunch of others. And so that this is a blessing. It means that as more and more people come out with and realize that they are dual souls, they are in a better and better position to help us through these troubled times. And so I'm really looking forward to the show today.
So Andrew, Mad Painter said that the feedback's coming from your mic. So mute when you're not talking, or maybe you can turn your sound down a little bit. That might help. Okay, good. Alrighty. So now we're going to bring you on, Andrew, so you can turn your mic on. And I already said part of your bio. You're a firefighter in Brooklyn for the past 12 years, and you have a Facebook page. What is that called? Something about strangeness in Brooklyn, high-strangeness in Brooklyn.
Yep.
So anyway, start from the beginning.
Sure.
Tell us about yourself and how you came to understand that you're an experiencer, and we're going to talk about your blue skin in a little while. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for having me on. First of all, this is great that you guys gave me the opportunity to speak. I didn't know if we were on video or just audio, because when we first started tonight, I'm actually having a sighting right now. There's a mothership outside and 3 plasma orbs. I got pictures of them, so I will send them to you. I didn't know if we were going to live stream, because whenever I talk to people via Skype, I'll have a sighting. This has been
you could put your video on so we could at least see it. We could describe what if we're picking it up, and
you can share screen.
Yep.
No, that won't work on this, honey. This is audio. This is a radio show. But if you can, at least in your video, maybe show us what's going on. Oh, I see. You have so Andrew has a view of the city.
Do you see the orbs right there in the sky?
No, it's too small to see the orbs. Let me try blowing up my screen.
Yeah.
Try that again one more time. Let me see. Go ahead. So there's orbs in your sky.
Okay. let's see.
Maybe I blew up my screen bigger. See if I can see it.
Okay. Straight ahead on the left. I'm going to give you a great shot. Hold on. You're going to see a mothership, right? This is a mothership that comes by every night. It's straight ahead. It's right here. Okay, take a look.
Okay.
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
There's white light.
It's not... I can see something really faint. Can you see anything, Thomas or Sasha?
No, I don't get anything on my screen.
All right,
yeah,
well,
okay.
This, but straight ahead, there's a row of white lights.
A row of white lights, okay.
That's a ship that comes by every night. I have about, I don't know, over 15,000 photos that I took in the last 10 months of craft that come by every night. And this is just one of them. But
I think I see that. So this is above the street light, you're saying. Kind of like there's a building and the parking lot.
Yep. That's it.
Oh, okay.
It's on the water. It actually comes from underneath. So I guess it's technically a USO. It comes from underneath the water. It comes up to the surface, and it usually lingers around for I'll have about contact for about 4 to 5 hours per night. And it's just nonstop.
Interesting.
And
there's somebody walking down in that parking lot. I wonder if they see it.
This is for everyone to see.
Have you been aboard? Have you been on the craft? Have you been on the craft?
I haven't been on that craft. This one just comes around this time at night, but I haven't been on it yet. Nope.
Interesting.
So what?
Okay.
Basically, just to get back to you. So yes, and to the right of that, there's about 3 orbs in the sky. I got photos of all this. I'll send everything to you so you can see it better.
Excellent.
Up close.
We'll put it up on the website.
Exactly. This is excellent. So basically, just to I'll give you some history. Basically, the first craft that I saw was in 1999 that I could remember. I was in the military. I was in the U.S. Coast Guard, and I saw 2 silver objects that were, I guess, about 500 feet out at sea. I saw 2 silver objects, maybe 100 feet apart from each other, and they were moving from east to west, and I could only see them with night vision goggles. So my job as the night watchman, if I saw any activity in the sky or around the boat that we were on, because I was in the Coast Guard, I was on a Coast Guard cutter down in South Florida, your job is to call down and let the officers know if you see anything. So I called down, and about 20 men and some officers came up. We all saw these objects moving, and then the 2 silver objects came together, and when they touched, they didn't shoot off in any direction. When they touched together, they vanished. So I knew at that point that, number one, that wasn't the military, because we are the military. And if they're doing a military exercise, they have to let us know, because if any craft passes by a U.S. Coast Guard ship and they do not identify themselves, we shoot them. This is in 1999, so this is pre 9/11, and that's a safety risk if somebody doesn't identify themselves. Now, this craft obviously didn't identify themselves. They just came by, and when they touched, they vanished. We probably had followed them for about, 10, 15 minutes, it seemed like. I was 19 years old at the time, and I knew at that point, okay, we're definitely not alone. I don't know what that was, but I know that wasn't us, at least. So that kind of opened the door.
Did you fire upon them?
No. We followed them. They didn't seem like they were threatening. They didn't seem like they were aggressive because they were so far away. And then when they touched, they just vanished.
So how many people saw that with you?
There was about 20 of us.
About 20, yeah.
So that was pretty good.
And then what happened after that? Did you have to file a report?
The next day, we got up in the morning, and I talked to the guys, and the officers didn't mention a word about it, and the men talked about it, and it was basically, don't talk about it, just leave it alone. So I was 19 years old. I was a kid. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to start any problems, but I was still curious though, and I said I want to find out more. I'm not sold that this is just it. So then I eventually met Dr. Stephen Greer, and I flew out to California and did a week of his ambassador to the universe training, where he showed me how to meditate and initiate the contact. And
what year was that?
That was in 2011.
We're trying to get your timeline. What year?
2011.
So
I met Dr. Stephen Greer, Emery Smith, and Dr. Jan Bravo. And also Thomas Jane, the actor, was there with us. He's the man that does.
What kind of contact did you have when
that was just
Thomas Jane?
Thomas Jane, he does the voiceover in the film Sirius, and he's also the main actor in the HBO show Hung. He's a Hollywood actor, pretty famous.
Okay.
So it was good that somebody there from mainstream was there that we could connect to, and he spent a week with us, and it was nonstop. We saw orbs in the sky, ships in the sky, orbs out in the field, and I was definitely having some intense experiences. One night we recorded a fox that was walking through the desert, and the next day we looked on the video camera to see the fox, and there was no fox on the video camera. There was nothing. So I asked Dr. Greer, how could that be? And he said, Andrew, the capability, the technology that these beings have, if they don't want to be seen, they won't be seen. So sometimes we would take pictures over the years, and there would be nothing on the camera the next day, nothing at all. And we would have contact all night. So I really got to learn how to just enjoy the experience and let that resonate with myself and sit with my heart. Not so much, if you get pictures, great. If you don't get pictures, there's nothing you can do about that. Sometimes they come in, sometimes they don't. That was in 2011. So from then...
What part of California were you at?
We were in Borrego Springs, right by the Palm Springs Desert.
Okay.
Not far from Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to...
So then...
So then I came back to New York, and I met a local contact team, a local CSETI contact team, led by Dr. Marilyn Gowak up in Albany, New York. And since 2011, I've been meeting with them once a month on a Saturday, and we do the global CE5 thing, which has been amazing. We've had everything from, beings around us to craft materializing to landing. I never took pictures of this stuff until about 9-10 months ago. I would just once in a while take a picture here and there, but nothing like the last 9 months. So for all these years, I've been having contact for quite a while. I just didn't take pictures because I didn't think anyone cared. Most of mainstream didn't pay attention to this. If you talked about it or if you had pictures and you put them on Facebook, people said that you were a nut job. So I just didn't even bother. I was like, well, we're never going to have this.
So what were you doing these, this CE5, was this with the night vision goggles, and what part of New York were you doing this in?
Springs, honey.
When I got back to New York, we were up near Albany, New York, in a town called
Albany.
East Side, so way upstate New York, and it still is led by Marilyn Gowak. She's a PhD, and she runs the group still to this day, and I've been meeting with them for 8 years, and every Saturday, once a month on a Saturday, I go up there. We've had contact every single time.
Wow. Do they have any videos of the?
What do they
on YouTube?
What do they communicate when you? Oh, my computers! The cat just walked on my computer. I'm sorry.
What do they tell? Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, we've been having. We've been having communication with.
What do they say?
We've been having communication with beings from Sirius to the Andromeda Galaxy to all sorts of galaxies. They basically are there. It's the same message as it was from the beginning. They're trying to raise our vibration. We raise our vibration so we can meet them somewhere in the middle. And they see that we're putting out the good, peaceful, loving intent. And they kind of just have told us, as far as you go, we'll go as far as you want to go with this.
Well, how do they communicate this? Are they telepathic or somebody channeling them? Or?
Yeah, people in my contact group, some people record with video cameras. They take pictures. I also have pictures and videos from my contact group in Albany, as well as where I live in my backyard now. So some people do record, but mostly it's telepathic, or they would speak. Literally, they would speak through the magnetometers. They speak their language through these magnetometers that we have.
What is a magnetometer?
It's basically used it picks up the magnetism in the area. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and the magnetometer is going off, when these magnetometers go off, that means the beings are there. And they will literally speak through these things. Stephen Greer did it in 2011. And when I came back to New York, we do it too. We would sit with a magnetometer out, and the thing will start going crazy, pinning itself when the beings are here.
So they speak. What does it sound like?
It sounds electronic. It sounds electronic. I have a audio recording that I could send you of a half hour of these beings communicating with me while I was getting after I got a regression with Mary Rodwell. We recorded a little bit after the regression when I was back to it after the hypnosis, and the beings in my room started talking to me in their language. It was like electronic sounding, and I have photos of the beings. There's a couple beings in my room. I have photos of them. But that's jumping the gun. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. I want to stay with the timeline right now where we're at.
Okay, go ahead.
So, also, I'm making contact now since 2011 in upstate New York with about between 20 to 30 people sometimes from all over the northeast of the United States. About maybe 6 years ago, there was one night we were meditating, and I saw this purple energy come down from the sky. We were inside. It floated down from the sky and went into my chest. It looked like the size of a Tic Tac. There were probably about a dozen of these little Tic Tacs that went into my chest, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Now, this is what I saw. Some people in the room told me they actually saw some ETs standing around me. So depending on where you're at and your level of consciousness, you might see something different than the person next to you. So at that point, I was not as evolved and doing it as much as I am today. I have 8 years experience right now. So at that point, I just saw these lights coming down, these little droplets. Well, since that day till this present day, every single day of my life, I see these purple lights around me. Still see them every day. I see them right now. I've been told that I have synesthesia, which I don't know if you're familiar with synesthesia.
No, tell us what that is.
It's my understanding of it is I met a lady, Maureen Seberg, who told me that she has synesthesia, and Billy Joel has synesthesia. Lady Gaga has it. People associate colors with different tones in the atmosphere. So people hear songs or noises, and they'll associate different colors from the rainbow spectrum with those different noises. And people are also highly psychic, and they see orbs and auras for most of the day. Now, that sounds just like what happens to me. I am psychic. Also, something that opened up in me was I'm able to sit around people, and I'm able to connect them with their deceased relatives. This is something that just happened. It kind of just popped out through meditation over the years. And I've been doing that now for about 5-6 years, sitting with, usually I like to sit with random strangers that I don't know, because there's no way they could say I know them at all. And I'm able to connect them with their deceased relatives as I see the energy around them. Their deceased relatives are able to communicate messages to me. And I've read, I don't know, hundreds of people now over the years, tons. Can you do it over the radio? I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. I like to do it face-to-face, obviously. That's the best, or Skype at least. But yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter where you are. I do train with a professional medium from Long Island. His name is Robert Hansen. He's a medium for 30 years. And when I realized that something was going on with me, I got referred to see him, and he helped me to understand and see what was going on around me. There's no way you could train someone or show someone how to be psychic. For me, it's a feeling. It's a feeling you get, and then once you feel it and you think you have it, then you could help someone to kind of, harness or become more aware of their surroundings. So that's all he does. He doesn't show me how to do it. Just with his experience, he shows me how to be more aware of the messages and how to interpret them better. So I've been doing that in addition to my regular profession, which is a New York City firefighter, over the years. Over the years, too, I have had angelic visitations while I have been at work. I have seen angels at work. I have photos of them. I have videos of them. I will send them to you if you like. No problem.
I'd love to have them, yes. Uh-huh.
I am writing a book because that lady Maureen Seberg that I told you about, the synesthesia lady, I met her and she was nice enough to listen to my story. And she said, Andrew, I think you should write a book. I said, I'd love to. I just don't know how. So she was assisting me with writing a book now and getting it all down on paper because I want to share my story with people. I think I was a regular walk of life person and I kind of just paid attention to things and worked at it, and now things have evolved to where I'm having contact 5 hours a day, every day.
Wow.
So I have had the ability, and I still do have the ability, if I am around someone and they're sick or they have cancer or they have an illness internally in them, I have been able to see the illness or the cancer in them. I have had relatives and friends who I told them, you need to go to the doctor and get a sonogram of your chest. That's just an example I'm giving you, but that's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And the person went to the doctor and they had stage 3 breast cancer. Now, this is working with the ETs and doing the psychic work. To me, it's all together as one. There's no separation in any of this. I feel that all of this needs to be looked at together and studied together as the same phenomena. So
right.
I've been trying to find like-minded people, and I reached out to that guy, Michael Harrell, who was nice enough to have me on his radio show, and we had an hour-and-a-half Skype conversation where I was turning blue. This is the first time that this happened in December. I started turning blue on and off. I didn't know what was happening, Janet. I had no idea. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I've never seen this before. Luckily, we got it on video. We got it on Skype. We got photos of it. We have plenty of evidence. The next day, I did an interview with Grant Cameron's assistant, Desta Barnaby.
I know Desta. Uh-huh.
Me and Desta talked for about 3-4 hours on Skype, and she told me, Andrew, the whole time you kept turning blue. I also recorded that and videotaped that. Because I said, no one's going to believe this. This sounds crazy. I don't even know what to make of this. But I said, I need to get some answers. I don't know who to go to, though. Can't go into my regular doctor and say, hey, doc, I'm turning blue. You know what I mean? Like, that's just nuts. I get it. So we posted the pictures and the videos of me turning blue on Michael Harrell's site. Some people were vicious, very nasty, telling me I was a fraud, a scam artist. I was harnessing in evil entities. I mean, I heard all these crazy things. I said, I don't know what's happening. I can't answer that. I just want to get some answers, though. Luckily, I'm glad we did that because Mary Rodwell commented the first day we posted it. She said, he's activating his ET DNA. I want him to contact me immediately. So I did. And she was nice enough to do a hypnosis session with me the next day. And as soon as we connected on the phone, I had a mothership and a couple plasma orbs coming to my window, which it was amazing, the timing that she was actually able to see this with me. So she was a direct witness, and she said, Andrew, I saw this. I'll vouch for you. You're not lying. It is what it is. She put me under hypnosis. I was turning blue. So that happened at that point too. And I said, all right, well, what do I do with this now, though? I'm turning blue. You think it's ET, activation. That's great. But what do I do, though? She said, you need to find a geneticist. Now, I said, I don't know any geneticists. How do I find a geneticist and trust one and tell him what's really going on? And hopefully the guy does the right thing. You know what I mean? I was very skeptical of just telling someone my personal stuff. So, once again, it is an amazing community out there of good people that I have around me. A person that I trust and know very well referred me to Dr. Gary Nolan at Stanford Research Institute. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's the top. He's the top geneticist there. He owns Nolan Laboratories, and he's the man who dissected the creature in the film Sirius.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Dr. Gary Nolan and Kit Green, they have a program going where they have experiencers and they're testing their DNA because they feel there might be a link between people having sightings and being highly psychic and having it run in the family. So I spoke to Dr. Nolan, and he said that he felt that I was a good candidate for the program, me, my brother, and my mother. So the three of us are going to be looked at scientifically now by the scientific community.
Yeah, they did the blood work for Michael Lee Hill, and they found that he was a very rare haploid blood type that had special qualities. So would he be taking your blood, doing a genetic analysis that way? Or your saliva, or how would he?
Oh yeah, they start out with just taking your saliva. Which is basic. They do the saliva, and it looks like it's going to be about a 2 to 3 year study. This looks very intensive and extensive, but to have recognition from people that are so well respected in that field, to even take a chance and listen to me. I don't know this person personally, but he saw my videos, he saw the pictures, and he said, I believe that what you're experiencing could definitely be something otherworldly, but we need to get answers. He goes, I don't have definitive answers for you right now. However, we're going to get the answers if you do the study. I said, okay, great. I'm very grateful, and I appreciate that.
Are they going to cover the cost?
They're taking care of everything.
Wow.
Now, I looked into this before I met him. If you go and want to get your DNA tested legitimately, not this ancestry stuff for $100. I mean, if you want to get your alien DNA checked out, it's about $10,000. And if you do that, the company you go to, you better read the fine print, because a lot of these companies in the fine print, once you give them your DNA, they own it. So just be very careful for anyone out there looking around or spending that kind of money. Make sure that you know the people that trust them. I was fortunate enough to have the right people steer me in the right direction because they saw what I was doing was genuine and they believe in me. And I know a lot of these people for years. I do have a lot of contact friends over the years that know what I'm experiencing is what it is. And I don't have an answer for all of it. I'll tell you that. I don't have all the answers. I'm learning every day as I go. I'm constantly learning and trying to expand upon it. I don't think anyone, even people in science or in the, the government, I don't think anyone has all the answers. So I hope we can continue to work together and all work together as a unit and all figure this out as one, because that's so important.
So they're actually looking for alien DNA when they do this $10,000 genetic test.
From what I understand, there might be some components in someone like myself or my brother or my mother. There might be a few pieces of our DNA that we are activating that somebody that's not experiencing this just is not activating in their body. But somehow I'm activating it. How? That's what the study's going to be. They're going to look in and see what they can find out. And we'll see what kind of answers they can get. Because besides that, you're trying to figure this out on your own. I wouldn't be able to figure this out, and I couldn't afford that. I work a regular job, but I don't have that kind of money.
Right.
So I'm very grateful. The funding for it, however they're doing that, they're figuring that out, and that's a blessing that they're able to do this because there's no one else out there that can have these resources that can test everyone. So you're kind of like on your own, and then if I go online and I post what's going on, people will continue to just mock me and make fun of me. And then that could shy you away. And you could say, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this man because people are making fun of me. But I'm so far past that. I know that what I've experienced is real. But I want answers now. I want to get answers from the right people, not the people that are immediately attacking you and saying, oh, no, it's this, it's that. Nobody really knows. That's my understanding of it. No one really has the ultimate answer.
Sasha, have any questions or feedback?
I sure do. Andrew, I've been looking at several studies, Harrell of the friendship group in Chile and the one in Italy also. And the message that they keep saying is that the nuclear testing and the nuclear exchanges and the leaking plants that we have somehow messed up their ability to travel and get off the planet. And they are waiting for us to develop the technology to help them get off the planet. They seem like they're very friendly. They're even called the friendship group. And so I just wonder if you've gotten any about the content of your communication. Do you have anything like that in your communication?
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm definitely dealing with one at night. Okay. I'm dealing with a multitude of different types of races, beings, backgrounds. The way I've said it to them is anyone is welcome here. As long as you come to me in my backyard and you come with peace and love and respect, I don't care what you look like or where you're from, you're welcome here. But if there's any of that nonsense or if any funny business happens, you're not welcome here anymore. And I'm not going to make contact with you. Since I've done that, I have had, some nights I look outside, there will be over 100 beings outside. I have pictures of them. A lot of them come in shadow form, or they're black. They look like black energy. And they have told me that they come from underneath, that they actually live in the earth, but underwater. And they come up from under the surface, and they'll come up at night, and they'll make contact with people like me or other people that are open-minded. But a lot of people are scared of them because some of them look, and they might look intimidating or scary. Some of them are 8 foot tall, and they look like ants, or they just look, the heads are really big. So they said that they've been so receptive to me because I've really had an open heart and mind with what I'm seeing. And I'm not judging them because of how they look. So we're still a long ways away from where we need to be, I think, as people. That's what they're telling us. We still have a long way to go, but they're telling it's people like me and people like you that I'm talking to. We are the ones that have to talk about this because there are other people out there that are so terrified to talk about this because they don't want to be made fun of at work or by their spouse or by their family. But somebody like me or you talking about this might get them to call me or contact me. And I have had that happen. I've had people that I grew up with, people I haven't talked to in 25 years have messaged me and said, Andrew, I am so glad you are talking about this because I've had experiences myself, but I don't know what to do about it. And I'm so glad that you're talking about this. Thank you. So you know what? That one person or 3 people that have reached out to me, that's worth it all. I've done my mission, and I'm going to keep doing it because that's the only reason I'm doing this. I've had enough contact, and I have enough proof. I don't need to prove anything else to myself. I know what's going on is real, but I want to bring it to a higher level where we could have more open contact and people don't have to worry about these things landing and hurting us or attacking us. That hasn't been my experience. I don't know if there are groups or entities that are negative or are hurtful. However, in 20 years or my whole lifetime, whatever you want to think of it, I have not had one occasion where I felt threatened, scared, or a negative interaction. I can only tell you what I've lived.
Yeah, Andrew, Sherry Wild has told me, and many others that I've interviewed, that they thought they were being taken against their will, but as they opened up their consciousness, they realized that they had indeed agreed to this, and they were dual souls who have come to as ambassadors to try to help people here on Earth.
I learned that when Mary regressed me, which I was totally skeptical, and I was totally against regressions because I said, I don't want anyone hypnotizing me. I don't want to say anything that isn't real. I didn't know much about hypnosis, but I just thought that it wasn't legit. I did not think that. However, I said, you know what, at this point, let me give it a shot. When I did that regression with Mary, my great-great-grandparents came through, and they showed me when I was a very young child. They brought me into a bedroom in a relative's house. I walked into their room. I could see it happening like it was right now. I walked into a room, and there were beings. There was the Virgin Mary, there was Jesus, and there were beings coming through the walls and hugging me and telling me that we are family. This is as I was a 2 or 3-year-old. So looking back, I am so glad that I did the regression because I realized it's been happening my whole life. It's not 20 years, it's 38, however old. Right. Before that. I don't ever like to tell anyone, though, oh, you're an ET or you're a hybrid. Don't worry, you'll figure it out. However, though, my experience has showed me that basically Mary Rodwell says, Andrew, we're all ET human hybrids, all of us. We just all haven't figured it out yet. After going through this with her, for me, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, in this regard, Andrew, when somebody has a vociferous reaction to you, it's probably what we would call reaction formation. They traumatized on some kind of ET contact they had, and so they don't want to hear it from somebody else.
Exactly.
And so one interesting way to deal with it is to say to a person, if they're your friend or open to you, when did you first start being not liking to hear stuff like this? How old were you? What was going on? And so you can sometimes get a person to open up. Don't just reject them because they're skeptical, but sometimes they really just want to be helped.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I do not, even if people attack me or they get very aggressive, I try to just tell them, we need to look at all the information. How can I judge you when I don't know anything? I don't know anything about you as a person. So how can I don't want to jump to a conclusion until I look at all the evidence. So someone sees one picture of me blue and they say, that guy's a scam artist. He's a fraud. You know nothing about the last 20 years of what I've experienced. And you're saying that? I just don't see that as like a smart move. I would say, hold on, let's see everything and look at it. And then I'll make a hypothesis based on all the evidence. But on one thing, it's like one experience. You have one bad experience. Well, maybe that's a bad one. Maybe the other ones are awesome. We got to look at everything. And I think that the fact of Mary Rodwell reaching out like she did and her saying, Andrew, find a geneticist. And I found an amazing geneticist, Dr. Nolan. The fact that the two of them are both open-minded to hearing both sides of the coin, that's the direction that I feel we need to continue to head in.
So let's go even deeper than let's say, it sounds like there's an orchestration by some kind of higher consciousness to bring you and Mary and the right geneticist. It's like this isn't random. It's way beyond random probability. It's being orchestrated. That's what it looks like to me.
Yes, I believe so. There's no doubt about it. It all lined up.
So, Andrew, I just wanted to add, just to let you know, I'm a lifelong contactee experiencer, and I've never had anything that was negative.
Right.
I listen to hundreds of people on these shows and other places in person and at conferences, and it always astonishes me when they have negative experiences, and I feel really bad for them. But I think there is that initial, like you said, you have to look at all the experiences, and there's an initial knee-jerk fight or flight response because it's something outside of their reality. So they're having this response, but it's not necessarily what's happening to them, But sometimes people do have weird things like they're, getting metal thrust through their eyeball or something. And I don't know how to sort all that out, but some people do describe weird things like that. And it's like, well, I just have to take them at face value and go, well, that's their experience, but mine have been healing or very high spirituality and consciousness. And so I'm just having a different reaction than they are.
And I feel too, and this is, I really want to be clear, if people out there are having experiences, and they have had negative ones where they were hurt or they were exposed to radiation or whatever. It could be anything. I don't know everything. If they're having something happen, and especially if it's causing them harm or they're really bothered by it, I encourage them to reach out to me because I do have resources and I do know people where I could steer these people in the right direction to get help. Because, like I said, I've only known what has happened to me. But I have friends in the military who have had different experiences where maybe they have had some negative side effects, some health things happen to them. But it needs to be looked into. I'm not saying that it's from the ET contact. You need to find the right doctor, though, to look at you and examine you and do the right testing to give you the right answer. But just to go online on Google and to look all day and think that you're going to play doctor, you're going to drive yourself crazy. and you're not going to get the right information. You need to go to the right people that have had 20, 30, 40 years experience and seen case after case by this. And I'm so glad that I didn't hold this in. I said, enough's enough. All these years I've had things happen to me. I've seen things. And something about this 2017, 2018, something just came to me. And I said, that's it. I'm telling all now. I don't care what people say. The truth has to get out there, because I want the next person who was in my situation 6 months ago and didn't know what to do. I hope that they feel that they can reach out to me or someone and we could help them. And it's already happening. So this is how this works. We are here to, I feel, we're here to help each other. That's the ultimate goal, for advantageous reasons, or for war reasons, or for how to get ahead by the next country, or to have the technology. I don't know about any of that stuff. I'm not into that. I'm here for the peace, love, and mutual respect that they have shown us, and the compassion they've shown us.
Yeah.
The compassion is the number one thing.
I just also like to say that, your Coast Guard guys did the right thing. The American planes that actually fired on ET crafts have been shot down. This one person we interviewed, his guy that's supposed to load the missiles in his plane didn't do it right, and his buddy had his plane loaded right. They went after a bogey. The first guy fired on the saucer, and the saucer disintegrated that ship. And then the saucer flew around the guy whose missiles wouldn't work, and like laughing at him almost, and flew off because he could tell whether the missile was armed or not. And so that not firing was a very intelligent thing to do.
Yeah, we do not want to hurt anyone. Believe me, the Coast Guard, when I was in, it was not like that at all. However, when you have something so advanced that you're thinking, are these the Russians? Are these the Cubans? You never know, and sometimes it is. Yeah. And you got to be careful. If we have 72 guys on that boat, that our lives are in the hands of the captain, he's got to make that call. It's a great thing that craft just touched and vanished. And I realized, too, by doing the regression, there was no accident by me seeing that. That was meant to be. I was the first guy to see that. And I was the one to make the call down to the bridge and call the officer up. I was the guy to do that. Out of all times that could have happened, it was me. So you look at it and you say, oh my, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence. Another amazing thing, I have these beautiful pictures that I will send you guys. On New Year's Eve, I was on the phone with Dr. Marilyn Gawak. She's the lady that runs my group up in Albany, my contact group. I'm on the phone with her and I say, Marilyn, I really miss my dog, Odie. He died 4 years ago. He's a little Shih Tzu. I said, I really miss him. I wish I could see him. As I'm saying this, the lightship mothership comes by. It's like it normally does outside the house on the water. I say, Marilyn, hold on. I just want to get a few pictures. I take a couple pictures. I get a little 1 minute video. And then I look at the photos and the video. There is a gray ET with big black eyes, and he is holding the black soul of my Shih Tzu. I'll send you the photos. You guys see what you think. I'm telling you, I've showed this to everyone. It is the soul of my Shih Tzu. I would bet my life on it. And I have a video and a bunch of good shots I got of the being on the light ships. You see the lights, and you see it holding my dog as I was speaking about him. And I have about 50 pictures of my dog on other occasions, his soul, because I feel that these beings are showing me that where they are, with their reality, they are in the reality with the souls of our departed ones, our loved ones. And they are proving it to me, because I would not go to UFO conventions and I wouldn't speak at them. I've been offered to, because a lot of the ones I went to, people would go up and they'd talk, but they would tell a story and they would draw diagrams and they would show, they would draw pictures. To me, that's not proof. I said, that's not proof. I want to see photos. I want to see videos, and I want to see, evidence, some sort of evidence, whether it's picture, video, or an artifact. You got to give me something more than a picture you're drawing on the wall. I could draw that and make a story up. So to me, I started taking these photos 9-10 months ago. I have over 15,000 photos of craft and beings. They have given me...
Andrew, in all fairness, most people don't get any kind of proof. They don't get any evidence. The ETs won't let them take pictures, and if they take pictures, their film shows nothing. So there's something about you that's different, that they're actually giving you pictures.
Well,
I'm not sure what's going on there, but other people are not having the same kind of experience.
What's great too is I was taking pictures on my iPhone, nothing fancy, just a regular iPhone with a lithium-ion battery, and people were telling me online, you got to get a better camera. You got to get a better camera with a stand, and so you don't shake. So I went out, I spent $200, got a nice camera, got a nice stand. I go down to the beach, and I start filming. The batteries die. I buy lithium-ion batteries, put them in the camera, bring them down to the beach. The batteries die again as soon as I see a craft. They don't die ever on my iPhone. So they were telling me, you don't need that fancy camera, Andrew. Just keep filming with your iPhone. You don't need any of that stuff. So I just film with my iPhone. Yeah, it's not the best quality all the time. And people will say to me, oh, you need better quality, you need this, you need that. Hey, I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just trying to open people's mind and let them question their reality. And maybe you can get to someone where you help them, and maybe not. But thank you. I appreciate that. I realize that there's something going on. If they didn't want to be on film, they wouldn't be on film. Because years ago, we couldn't get anything on camera.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I once had one of the new craft. There was a parade, one of the new military craft. It was one of the stealth ones. Came right over my head, and it was posing for me. I take a picture, and it wiped out the whole. This is back when you had rolls of film. It wiped out the whole roll of film.
Wow.
So if they don't want you to have a picture, they'll make sure you don't have it. But I want to encourage you to tell your story and document it however it is, like Mary and other people that work with regression therapy. They often say, draw a picture. We do that in our therapy.
Sure.
Draw a picture. And that's all people can do. But if you have these different people over the years drawing pictures and then they correlate with what other people are seeing, that's what happened with Whitney Stryver back in, I guess it was, 1980. 84 or 87 or something like that. When he put Communion, he put that gray alien on the cover of Communion, his first book in the field, and then when people saw that, they went, oh, I've seen that guy, I've seen that character, and it would activate people, and their memories would start flowing in. So we really are, in the middle of this giant mystery, and I want to encourage you to do your timeline, create a PowerPoint, get your book written, and say yes to some of these conferences, because with other experiencers, you connect the dots. You really help all of us.
I have to do a couple, and I am going to speak now. No doubt about it.
Great.
Excellent. Go ahead, Sasha. You had a question.
Wait a minute. I just. So it's very interesting to me that Jesus came to you, because and I would ask that when you invited people that look every way, or beings that look every which way to come, they're welcome as long as they come in peace. But I'm an Anunnaki expert, and a lot of people think Jesus was an Anunnaki, or at least an Anunnaki hybrid. So I'm wondering if you've had any contact with Anunnaki, people who are Homo sapiens, but they're ETs too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've had contact with them for a long time. I was just getting the same answer from a lot of beings. I said, "What are you? Where are you from?" And they just kept telling me, "We're angels." That was the response. We're angels. We are angels, just like you would read about in your Old Testament or your Bible or whatever. I'm like, okay. It seemed kind of generic, but I think that it's angelic-like what's going on, no doubt about it. And Anunnaki and all those possibilities, and they're all out there. Whatever people are connecting with, I just don't want anyone to limit themselves to thinking they can only communicate with this breed or that breed, because I've met beings that have green heads that are huge, and I posted pictures, and people will say to me, "Oh, I don't want to communicate with them. Those are demonic." I said, "Why are they demonic?" And people would say to me, "Because they're scary looking." And I said, that's the problem. This is why they're not just going to come here and land, because we can't even be open-minded enough to say, wait, maybe they just look different. Doesn't mean they're evil based on how they look, like maybe they were born that way. That's so racist and disgusting, and I have no tolerance for that. I just try to stay open and educate people and say, hey, you never know. Why don't you give them a shot? See how it is. See how you feel.
My teacher, Zechariah Sitchin, said that it gets translated into English as angels, but the word in Akkadian was ambassadors or representatives or envoys.
Wow. Yes, exactly. Ambassadors. You're right. That's it.
I've had some people report that the extraterrestrials think that we're really ugly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come on.
They're so ugly.
And that's just so typical, Homo sapien American race. We're better than anyone. We're the best looking. We're the best this. We're the best that. I don't know about that. There's a lot out there in the universe that you might get a little more than you're pushing out. So, you get humbled by it. You can get humbled, or you can build a big ego and think you're the greatest thing ever because you're having contact and you're special. And I've told people, and I still do, I tell them, I tell anyone, please message me, send me a message at 6:00 at night, find me on Skype, and you can come down to the beach with me, and we'll have a CE5 any night you want. And I've been doing that now almost every night with some people I met online and some people that I am friends with that can't get to me driving. They message me, I turn the video on, and we have
Hold that thought. We'll be back in 5 minutes at the top of the hour. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back in 5.
Radio at freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.
You need some more than speed records in this day and age. You need coverage.
Coverage? Oh, you mean them little root weevils that crawl around popping off cameras in your face?
Those root weevils write history.
Many of you know that quote by Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Well, you can, and Event Horizons will give you those truths. So when you're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore from that memorable CNN network, you'll know just what to do. We will draw you in and become your news addiction at Event Horizons. Join us Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time at freedomslips.com. At Revolution Radio. Our world team members are Dennis Fetcho, John Ilias, David Dunger, Hyla Cass, MD, Melanie Bridgton, Jim Mars, Paula Harris, John Trallo, Maria Payan, Christopher Husser, DODDS, Jonathan Orchard, and me, your anchor, Dr. Robin Falco.
If you decide not to volunteer, it will not be held against you in any way.
Sounds dangerous.
It is.
Very dangerous. Count me in.
And that's right here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps. Is your data safe? Do you have the necessary information to assist you in confidently living through just about any survival situation? Is survival and gardening, off-grid living, medical knowledge, or even natural or man-made EMPs on your list of personal concerns? Do you have your documents and your personal information in a safe place in your hands where you know where it is? Well, check out our preloaded EMP-proof thumb drive. Over 3 gigs of survival documents and how-tos, plus the USDA offline food preservation website, and much, much more, including a surprise bonus we just can't tell you about here. With plenty of room left over to store your most important documents. Imagine if a megavirus or a computer failure took out your bank, or all the banks for that matter. Are your banking records safe in your hands? So when they get things fixed and repaired, you can say, hey, look, this is what I had. You have it. I want it back. Is your personal data safe? Family records, addresses, phone numbers? Well, squeeze on over to freedomslips.com. Yes, that's www.freedomslips.com. Click the banner on the homepage for the EMP-proof bullet drive to get the full scoop of everything that we offer. So, folks, keep your data safe for your peace of mind. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
In breaking news, a visiting Syrian diplomat reported today that their population is evolving rapidly and advancing into a 5th dimensional consciousness. They are seeking peace with all cosmic cultures, which may mean that the Earth will be asked to join the prestigious Galactic Federation of Light Alliances. Please join Debbie West and Michael Hathaway on Lost Knowledge, Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Studio A, for the latest breaking news on the Star Visitor's peaceful contact and the ongoing project of cleansing the Earth.
This is the people's war. It is our war. We are the fighters. Fight it then. Fight it with all that is in us. And may God defend the right.
Warning! Warning!
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all! See how the trouble you've started? Be they the government, be they industry, be they organized labor, be they anyone, or human beings. Time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported talk radio station, throwing ourselves upon the gears of the machine. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it. Right, you tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Revolution Radio!
Join Revolution Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio B for Momentary Zen with host Zen Garcia at freedomlips.com, the People Station.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Aloha and welcome back to the Sacred Matrix on Revolution Radio at revolution.radio. And I am your host, Janet Carolison, with my co-host, Dr. Sasha Alexis, and our producer, Thomas Becker, and our very special guest, Andrew Raz. We're going to go into a lot more this second hour. But before we get back to our show, I'd like to remind everybody to go over to the donation button on revolution.radio, and please make your donation. We are about halfway through the month almost, and we could use your donation, $1.10 to $2.20, whatever you can afford to donate will be greatly appreciated. It keeps us on the air. I'm ad painter Thomas Becker. Do you have the stats? How are we doing? If not,
Yes, ma'am. We got 1238, and we need 2,700. So that's right at about 1,500 shy yet. So please donate.
Please donate. Sasha, what would you like to say before we bring back Andrew?
Well, I'd just like to say, this is your station. This is your chance to hear things you can't hear on the controlled media, and so you're paying for your own freedom of information. So chip in, please.
Thank you. All right, so back to you, Andrew. I wanted to know how many different species have you met? You said that at one time that they make an electronic sound, but how does that get interpreted into English? So which species and how does that mechanical sound get translated into English?
Yeah, I mean, I will. I'll meditate, or I'll tune into my higher self, and then it's a telepathic communication. The noise sometimes comes out in like an electronic sound, or there's no noise, and we're just communicating. When I was getting that regression done with Mary Rodwell, she said while I was under hypnosis, I was turning blue. So she said, there's no way that could be possible. There's no way you're faking it. It is what it is. You're turning blue under hypnosis. When I came to, after the hypnosis, that's when this electronic sound was talking through my computer, and I recorded it. There was a being that came into the room, and you could see him in the corner of the room. We got pictures of him. And then there were two Arcturian beings, angelic beings that are always with me. Two of them manifested. I have photos of them as well. They kind of look, I guess, maybe like a shadow-ish type thing. I mean, you'll see. I'll send it to you. It's bluish-green, and it's got a shadow hint to it. Sometimes they come into this reality. Sometimes they don't, because it's not safe for them to just appear in the middle of downtown Manhattan, obviously. So it's got to be appropriate. But their messages, most of it's just telepathic. There's nothing being spoken at all. But when there's other people around, it seems like when they want to talk to both of us, they'll start making those noises, and then I just connect to my higher self, and then the words being spoken to me, it's just like me listening to light language, or does somebody speak to me a regular language? I just understand them. So that there are. I've at least I've at least encountered, got to be at least 50, 60 different races easily. Some nights I'm outside and I'll see over 100 beings, 100 at a time, and they will come running to me. A lot of them are little. Some of them are anywhere from an inch tall. I've seen inch tall beings. So has my brother with me. To ones that are 2 inches, to a foot tall, to ones that are 10 feet tall. So I love it. It's always something new. They usually always give me something new, and it keeps it exciting. It's never like the same, oh, this is boring now. It's the same old thing. It's not ever boring anyway. But
can people who are with you see these beings?
Yes. People that are with me have seen the beings. I made contact 2 weeks ago with just 4 people, and the 4 of us, we've been making contact together for years, but the 4 of us had the most intense contact experience that we've ever had together. There were dozens of beings in a matter of 3 to 4 hours, dozens of beings and different colored lights coming in and out of the room. Everyone saw exactly what we were seeing. So it wasn't just me. Sometimes I could see things that other people can't, but if I'm with people that I've been meditating with for years that I know, we could all see it together. Most of it, though, is just out in the open for anyone.
Okay, so when you and your 4 friends were there, besides what you saw, What was communicated to you?
Well, number one, they wanted us to get together because they felt like we needed to be a little more aggressive, that we wanted to be more aggressive in disclosing the truth about what we know and the contact that we're having, and the fact that they're here and they're just here for a peaceful means. They saw the energy that we were creating, and it was so strong to the ETs that they wanted the four of us to just get together. They showed us more as we showed them more. And we're going to keep going. As far as we want to go, they're going to meet there with us. I don't know if one will manifest in front of everyone for everyone to see. I don't know if the world is ready for that quite yet. But I'm having amazing contact when people just come over, whether it's one person or 3 or 4 people. People are having amazing experiences with me. So I'm just going to keep.
Do you have kinesthetic contact? Do you touch them? Do they touch you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have pictures. I've held hands with them. I was holding hands with one of them. So I took a photo, and the photo, you see the hand of the creature. It looks like a tree branch. It is not. You'll know. You've seen beings before, so you'll know what this is. But this is the hand of a being that was standing right next to me on the beach. They've touched me. They've touched me invisibly, where there's been nothing to see around me. And then I've actually seen face-to-face. I've had face-to-face interactions in the flesh, in this 3D reality. I've had beings of light wake me up out of my sleep. And there'll be one occasion, there were 4 7-foot-tall, white, glowing beings at the end of my bed. They woke me up. I woke up and I looked at them. And I didn't know what they were. I thought at first maybe they were souls of people that died on 9/11 or a relative of mine. I didn't think they were ETs because I never got woken up like that before. And they told me, they said, we are the angels that you would reference to in the Old Testament. And I said, okay. And they said, we've always been here. We've been here before you were here. We'll be here after you're not here anymore. You'll be with us. And then, honestly, this is so 21st century, but honestly, the next thing that came into my mind was, I got to get a picture of this because no one's going to believe this. Even if I tell the story, they're not going to believe this. This sounds so far out of this world. I grabbed my camera. I have a 12-minute video of an interaction with them, and I have about 50 pictures I took. So I have photos of the actual beings. Oh, yes. Like I said, I am writing a book about that encounter in particular because that was very, very special. That was very special to me. That was the game changer of, whoa, these things are coming through and now they're waking me up out of my sleep. Something must be really important going on. You know, if they're waking me up now, they didn't take me. They didn't bring me anywhere, nothing like that. They just woke me up. They stayed there and we communicated. They stayed with me for 4 hours.
Wow.
What did they communicate?
What did they say to you? What did they want?
Well, like I said, they told me that they are angels. This is the real deal angels, just like you would see in the Bible. And they said they are with my relatives. When my relatives have died, they are with me. Oh. They're with them. That's how they're able to show themselves. That's why, like, my dog was able to be shown to me. And I've had relatives. I've had apparitions and photos of relatives and people that I know appear in photos. And I'm like, I know that face. They're coming through. They're making contact with these ETs and these angels together. It's all one. I was looking at it separate. I was separating it, saying, well, angels are angels. Psychic work is psychic work. And, C5. That's it. They're telling me, no, it's all together. Don't separate it. That's the message.
Great. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because Whitley Strieber said that, it all started merging. Like, people would go on craft and they'd see their deceased relatives.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing them right to me. Literally, they're bringing them to me, and I was so over the top with photographs, videos, and I kept saying that to them. I said, I need proof. I need proof. I need to record this. Well, they have listened to what I've asked. So they've listened to me. I figured it's out of respect. I'm listening to them, and we're working together as a team. It's vice versa. You know, like it's not just all me or all them. It's, to me, it's a relationship now. And we're going to continue to work together. And the people that want to come join us, my hands are open, my heart is open. And the people that want to fight this and get crazy, I just have no time for that. I just got to keep going. Sorry, but when you're ready, I'll still be here. But I can't convince anyone of this. You have to figure it out, you know? Like, I can't do it for you. I wish I could. But everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own path. But I'm still going to be here. I'm not shutting the door on anyone. When they're ready, I'll still be here.
Wow.
Wow.
So, let's see, where do we want to go? We have 45 minutes, so, we went into this regression with Mary.
Uh-huh.
And that was your first regression, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And how long was that session?
The session itself was about an hour.
Uh-huh.
And the whole thing was recorded. I was under hypnosis, so I didn't have anyone in the room with me. I just laid back and I turned my computer on. I had it in my lap, and so she was able to see my face. And she told me, she said, Andrew, the whole time you kept turning blue and dark blue. There's no way you're faking this. She goes, I'll vouch for you. You could say my name. I saw it myself. And as we were talking about this, then that's when I started to figure out, whoa, I've been getting visited since I was basically born, you know. One very interesting thing too, I think you guys should hear. This is great. About 6 months ago, my mother tells me, my mom says, Andrew, when you were 4 years old, she goes, you just looked at me and you said, Mom, I died already. And she goes, my mom said, really? And she goes, Andrew, you said to me, Mommy, I died once already. I died. I drowned in the water and I went up to heaven with Jesus Christ and it was fine. It was okay. And now I'm back. And my mom was not taking me to church every Sunday. We were not reading the Bible at 4 years old. Nothing like that. She goes, I don't know how you could have come up with this or where it came from. She goes, but I just wanted to tell you now, you're into all this stuff. And I said, wow, that's pretty important. You know, looking at it now, looking back, I hear stories of other experiencers saying, oh, yeah, I had a visitation or I saw Jesus or I saw the Virgin Mary when I was 3 or 4 or whatever. I said, wow, you know what? That's part of my story. It is what it is. My mom's saying it. It's important to me. So I feel it's been going on forever.
Wow. So, what else happened during the session? What else do you remember? You're having contact all your life.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Do you remember things before you were born?
This was all communicated to me. What was going on in the regression was birth and right after birth, because I was asking about when my contacts start, and she had me walk up a stairway. I was in a stairway in a living room in my grandmother's house. I walked up this stairway. There was a door there. I opened the door, and my great-great-grandparents were there. And I knew them a little bit when I was growing up, but they were much older, and they died when I was younger. But I did know them here. I do remember them. And they were there. They grabbed my hand, and they walked me into a room, and that's where there were religious figures. There was the Virgin Mary, Jesus Christ. There were some angelic beings, some Arcturians. And there was this is another great thing, too. There was a blue woman there, and she said her name was Samsara, Samsara. She said, she said, I am your mother from a previous life, okay? I'm Arcturian, and I have been communicating with you from the other side right now. She goes, you are Arcturian. She goes, and I am your mother, and I'm sorry, but you were my baby, and you drowned in a previous life. I was your mommy. You drowned, and I'm sorry because I wasn't watching you. And I told my mother, I drowned in the water. I didn't say previous life, but I just said, Mommy, I died once already. I went to Jesus Christ, and I'm back. I'm okay. Now, this is what's coming through in the regression. A woman, gorgeous, blue. I could still remember what she looks like right now. A blue woman. She had some gold rings on, bluish and greenish. So I'm describing her in the regression. The regression ends, and now I'm taking photos of around myself in my room because I'm feeling all sorts of energy. I'm seeing beings in the room. I'm taking photos around the room, and I'm looking at the photos a few weeks later. This is not right away. A few weeks later, I'm looking at this photo and I go, oh my God, look at this. I have these black coats on the wall, and in front of the black coat is a green and blue woman. You see her breast.
Oh, wow.
You see her breast outline, and she's standing against the black coats, and she's got an odd, long-shaped head. And I go, that's my mother, because I described her, what she looked like in the regression. I have it recorded. And right after I take these pictures, and in the photo is this woman. So, like I said, I was not a believer in this stuff prior. I thought it was all nonsense. And I love backing things up with photographic evidence and film. And these beings have been amazing, amazing, amazing with giving me that photographic evidence. And to me, this is proof, for me at least. Seeing it, having it, being able to hold it and share it with people. Because by sharing it, other people have reached out to me and said, I've seen those beings too. Or I know that creature. I know that whatever it is. I've seen that too, man. They've come and taken me. I've met people that have been, they thought abducted at first, but they realized it wasn't abducted. It was really adducted. Mary Rodwell told me that word. Adducted. I love that. It's an abduction. It's an adduction. And I believe that's what it is. It's more of a relationship where you open up and realize, whoa, I agreed to this in a past life. That's what these beings told me. They said, before this life, I agreed to this. And that's why this has been happening. And that's why I saw the craft in the Coast Guard in the late 90s. And that was opening up a little bit of Pandora's box. And then my relatives are a huge, huge part of this on the other side. One interesting thing, too, is on this earth, while my grandmother was alive, my grandmother Joan, in 1995, we always used to watch Unsolved Mysteries together. I look at my grandmother. Oh, yeah, and all the UFO ones, we love that stuff. I look at my grandmother, I go, Gram, whatever happens to you one day, wherever you go, when you go to heaven, when you're with Grandpa, just like send me a sign, just like let me know you're okay, or just because I need to know that you're okay. I want to make sure you're in heaven and you're happy and that there's an afterlife. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm going to come back and haunt you. We started laughing, of course, like that's typical grandma, right? Of course, that's my grandmother. And I go, yeah, no, really. She goes, no. She goes, I will, I promise. Well, she passes away in 2010, in August 2010, she crosses over. About a month and a half later, I'm in a restaurant. A guy comes up to me and my mother, and the guy starts communicating with my deceased grandmother, telling me and my mother things. He comes up to us and says,
oh, wow.
he says, which one of you was born on Easter Sunday? My mom was born on Easter Sunday. So I said, how would this guy know this? I don't know this man. And he said to me, this blew me away. He said, you had a relative that died, a young girl. Her name was Emma or Emily, and she was buried in her christening dress. And I go, I've never heard that story. I don't know, but I think I would know that. That seems pretty significant. So I go back to my mom's house after I met this guy, and my mom brings me in the living room. She points on the wall. There's a little girl in a christening dress on my mother's living room wall. I go, who is that? My mom goes, Andrew, that's Aunt Emma. She died over 100 years ago. And she was buried in that christening dress. She died on a boat back to Ireland. She got sick, and they couldn't afford to, buy her a dress or whatever. They buried her in that christening dress. I go, Mom, I thought that was you. She goes, no, Andrew, that just looks like me. So they gave me the photo, and it was passed down generation to generation. I go, whoa, there's no way this guy could have known that. I didn't even know that. So that opened me up too to, wow, maybe there's something to the psychic world. That man is Robert Hansen. That is the man to this day I still train with, because I know he's the real deal. There's no nonsense with that.
He's the one that came over and told you that. Okay. So let's talk about that, your work with the spiritual aspect. Unless there's anything else you want to say, Sasha, before we move into the spiritual realm.
Go for spiritual.
Feedbacks? Go for spiritual. Okay.
This is fascinating, and in Raymond Moody was talking about how in Greece people would have these great vats full of olive oil, and they would then ask for their deceased relatives to manifest it. Somehow this olive oil and the setting would work, and he started bringing witnesses in. So the problem was they didn't always get the deceased relative that they were asking for. But so
yep, that happens too.
Right, and I get the dead visiting me a lot of times, and I have no control over it. So you have some stronger abilities than I have. How do you get the people that you want to get? Or how does that work?
I have no control over who comes through or why. When I meet with someone, this isn't making a collect call. It could be someone you'd want to speak to, or it could be a relative or a neighbor that, for whatever reason, they see me as the channel. They just come through. It's like all of the souls. When I literally see balls of energy, and they will all bunch up, and they'll just shoot information at me, and it's my job as a medium, a clear channel medium. I don't do crystals. I don't do tarot cards. None of that. I just sit and I just tell you what I see. It's very old-fashioned, but that's how I was broken in. Robert Hansen showed me this way. This is just how we do it. And I've seen people over the years, and some people will get angry because Aunt Sally doesn't come through, and they're like, well, I want my aunt to talk to me. I don't want to talk to my uncle. I'm out of here. Or they get mad, and I'm like, wow. We have very far to go if that's why you're coming to me. You only want to speak to your aunt, but that's how our society is. You want what you want when you want it. So the psychic work has really, really helped to humble me and condition me to say, wow, I just got to be accepting of whatever comes through, which directly relates to the ETs coming through. If I went outside every night and I said, well, I only want to talk to the Arcturians because I'm directly related to them, well, you know what? None of them are going to come, because that's why people don't have contact, I feel, because a lot of people have it once and then they come back thinking, well, no, I want exactly what happened last time. I want it again, and I don't want anything different. I want to see that exact being again. You have no idea what their missions are or what they're doing out there. They may not be able to come through. So acceptance is so big with this. Oh, and like you got to surrender to the moment. You have to surrender to being present in exactly what's happening, and whatever comes through, hey, that's it. It is what it is. But the psychic work has been tremendous. Whereas a lot of psychics I know, they want nothing to do with any ET or Little Green Men stories. I start talking to them about this, and they're like, I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, no, but can you just hear me for a second? Like, just be open-minded. I think it's all together. You're saying no, and they don't even want to hear it. Some people won't even go there. Some very good mediums I know, they don't want to hear about any of this. And then other ones love it. They're totally into it. So, hey, some people, it doesn't matter what you tell them, they just don't want to go there. For me, I don't ever try to limit anything I hear, whether someone does tarot cards or crystals or scrying or whatever it is. Hey, I never thought this was possible, 15 years ago, what I'm doing today. So who am I to say that can't be done? But let's look at it. Let's research it. Let's do some good studying before we just jump to a conclusion of, oh no, this is it. This is the gospel. That's it. Well, hold on. Let's really look into it, so we could give an educated hypothesis, So I love the work you guys are doing. I watch you, I listen to the shows you guys have had, and it seems like a lot of experiencers are staying very open these days. It seems much more open-minded nowadays than it was years ago.
Something right? Definitely shifted. Yeah, go ahead, Sasha.
One of the things that Susie Hansen says is that a lot of us have programs that are waiting for the right stimulus, external stimulus, to come forth into our consciousness, and that it's timed release. I know that all my life I've been having visions of peace and very, very powerful visions. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have been getting them too, and they feel the same thing. It's an activation that's happening now that we're ending the Kali Yuga and entering this a real chance of having planetary peace and stopping. What the ETs tell so many of our people that not only the nuclear stuff we're doing, but also the kind of rockets like Elon Musk's messes up their ability to travel, and they're waiting for us to become intelligent enough so that we can master travel without disrupting the world and the worlds.
Right. And that's the thing. They're not going to just come here and land, because if they did that, a lot of people would just say, okay, great to hear. That's it. Now let's go turn on Fox News. What's the next thing? And they can care less, and they know that. And that destroys the whole story and the path and what you have to go through, the good times, the bad times, the people, some people never talking to you again. And then the beautiful people that you just meet that you make lifelong friends on this journey with too. I mean, I wouldn't trade this for anything. The people that don't talk to me anymore or want nothing to do with it, they weren't my real friends anyway. But the people I have met, this is such an amazing journey that we're on together. We're all helping each other here, and we're all figuring this out. Anyone that tells me they know, they got this, they got that, well, then it doesn't matter what I tell you, because already. Your mind is made up. So if someone that says they're a skeptic, well, right there off the bat, I want to just say I'm open. People that say there's no way, they just don't exist, your mind's made up already. If you're saying you're skeptical and you're telling me they don't exist, it's impossible, it doesn't matter what I show you. You've told me already they can't get here. There's no way. So I would just want to say, well, why don't we retract from that? Why don't we just try to stay real open and see all the data, the real honest data out there. And hopefully more people can be honest about their experiences, because I know there's millions of us out there that are having these experiences. I see people walking on the boardwalk right now, and there's a mothership, and there's 6 craft that I'm looking at. And I see people pointing up and taking photos. Now, I don't go up to anyone and just say, hey, do you see that? I don't bother anyone. This is New York City. You bother the wrong person, they might stab you. So I just leave them alone. They'll find me. This is all over. People will find me. I'm not going anywhere. I will gladly show anyone this way. And if somebody grabs me on the beach or says something, great, then I'll talk to them. But I don't bother anyone. If I was in Cali or the West Coast where it's more laid back, yeah, maybe we could do that. But New York City, you don't want to bother somebody, especially in Coney Island here. This is not the neighborhood to do that. Right. So, which is amazing too, because I think that's why I'm having so much contact. People around here have so much going on that some people wouldn't even bat an eye. They would see this and just say, yeah, they're here. Okay, cool. And they'd keep walking. And if you just said, yeah, I'm making contact with aliens, they would say, all right, cool, man. And they'd keep going. They wouldn't bother you. They wouldn't call the cops. They wouldn't be annoyed. However, if you go into some suburbs or some areas, if you're doing this in your backyard, your neighbors are calling the cops. They're telling you you're crazy. Where I am is so open-minded. And there was a lot of pirate ships, too, in Coney Island from years ago. A lot of ghost ships and pirate ships. And I'm getting all sorts of beings that are coming up in the photos, and the ones that I'm interacting with. A lot of the souls, they're thrilled that somebody is finally paying attention to them. Because we're so busy in our everyday lives that, oh my God, I got to pay taxes, and I got to feed my family, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, that we don't take 10 minutes out to just sit with ourselves, And hey, if I can make one more person question that, or sit down with themselves, or sit with me, my mission is being done. And they're telling me this too. I'm getting the validations from them. Mm-hmm. As I talk to you, as I talk to other people about this phenomena, they will send craft. They will send enormous, the size of a 12 by 12 by 12 room. I will see a ball of purple energy that size floating in front of me when I talk about this stuff sometimes. Sometimes, as you see, I change colors. I'll turn purple, red, staticky, So they are totally validating what is going on. And I know other people have told me too, oh man, I had something happen to me, or my friend turns purple, or this or that. I want to create a safe space, which is what I did with my little Facebook page, the High-Strangeness in Brooklyn. I want to just create a safe space for people to go
and share whatever it is that's going on, not to be judged or to told that you're crazy, but just to share it. And let's try to help each other instead of judging each other, saying, oh, no, that's nuts. Or that, no, you must be faking that. There's no way that's real. Well, how do you know? Why don't we just see all the evidence first? And I've been selective. People have come in the room and said some nasty things. That's it. You're out of there. I don't have any time for that. I don't want people to feel harassed in my room. I'll talk to you and say, hey, you got to tone it down. You can't curse. You can't be rude. But if you're going to keep acting like that, you can't be in this room. This isn't that kind of room. Go in a public room and do whatever you want. But this is a closed, safe space for my friends and family. And already, it's a little group. I got like 400-something people in it. That's just for a little room. That's a good amount already. And we're growing tonight. Yeah, for a little group. And a ton of them are listening tonight. They're thrilled. And they've been very supportive. And then I meet people all the time. Hey, I heard you on the radio. I heard this. I heard that. Or, hey, would you want to come speak at this conference? And I say now, hey, I'll speak anywhere now. I just want to get the word out. I want to get the message out. I have enough proof in photos and videos that I could back up what I'm saying. And I feel comfortable with it because this is my path. You have yours. I have mine. This is meant to be for me to do it this way, and I'm going to do it this way. But I feel comfortable enough now that I could show so much evidence that I don't know how you could say that this is not happening. It just is what it is. Be rational. Just be rational and be open. And people, it's happening. The shift is happening. I'm sure you guys see it from your show, right? The shift is happening.
Oh, definitely. We started going on 6 years ago with Revolution, and we're able to talk about things that we couldn't before. We kind of had to be very careful what we were saying and get a lot of ridicule, but now it's kind of like we're just blurting it out there. I wanted to ask you about your contact with the dead.
Sure.
Have you ever encountered anybody kind of like infamous or famous? And if so, who did you encounter? And did they talk to you about why they were contacting you and all that stuff?
Well, I have an interesting bloodline. So I'm related to John Tyler, who was the 10th U.S. president.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who, if you look into it, of course, who they're related to, he is, and I guess I am too. It's distant, but I am also related to Walt Disney and Jimmy Carter. It's just all in my bloodline. It is what it is. Right. So yeah, I've had some interesting people just related to me, sure, that have come through, and then people that I've met. Most of the people that I read are just random people that no one's identified themselves as anything. Nah, nothing like Elvis or nothing like that. Now, I mostly just do that on Saturdays. I just go read people. At first, when I did it, I just wanted to just do it as a hobby. It was just fun. I liked helping people heal. I didn't want anything more than just, hey, I go, help you heal, and that's it. But I started doing it so much that some people were calling me like every other day for a reading. I said, hey, I can't do that, man. Like, I can read you once every other week, maybe, but I can't read you every day or every other day. It's nuts. And then eventually you learn to harness it and realize that on Earth, the way we have it set up here, there's businesses and you have to exchange something. Now, if I sat with somebody and they exchange energy with me, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. We just exchange energy. But I have clients that I've met and I've, had a legit business and charged for readings. And then I've met people where I've just sat with them for hours and just exchange energy where they'll read me after, or we'll do some sort of healing on each other, do distant remote healings. Oh, another amazing thing too I want to incorporate, which I think is a huge part of this. I also practice Qigong.
Ah, cool.
That is amazing. Okay. I've been practicing that for about a year. And I have personally witnessed, okay, I with this purple energy that I see around me, okay, I met a master. The guy came over here from overseas, but he lives in New Mexico now. His name is Mingtong, Mingtong, Mingtong Gu. The guy's been doing this for like 40 years. He's a healer in Qigong. He is amazing. I met this guy. He does not know me. I met him. And I just started explaining about the purple energies that I see. He looked at me, and I'll never forget this. He looked me right in the eyes. We had sushi dinner with like 20 people after we had like a group Qigong session. He came up to me. He looked at me, and he said, "You are very blessed, my son. You are working with the angels."
Oh.
Now, I took that to heart. You know, it's one thing to hear from people you know, or you read someone and they're like, oh, thanks, man, that's beautiful. I don't know this person, but I trust what he says. This guy has sat, you know, on retreats, silent retreats for months. This guy is the best there is in the Qigong field. He helped me harness the energy that I see. When I see this purple energy around, I've been able to manipulate it. It's just energy. That's all it is. I've been able to take it and condense it down into like a baseball and put it into people to heal them. And I have personally witnessed and been part of seeing people recover from cancer, from all sorts of lymphomas, to Parkinson's disease, to people that could not hold their forks at all. And they had terminally ill with Parkinson's disease. They didn't have much, like they were going to have a horrible life basically for maybe 6 more months to live. They're fully healed and walking now. The miracles that I have seen and been part of from Qigong, I encourage everyone, give that a shot. If anything, whatever I'm saying and I'm telling to you, give that a shot. Give Qigong a shot. You only have to do 15 minutes a day if you want. You can do an hour, but you can do 15 minutes a day. You will learn to heal yourself without any drugs, no pharmaceuticals, just by you cleansing yourself. That stuff is gold for your soul.
Wow.
That is a miracle.
Say, you know, I'm left with this from way before, but I'll bring it up now. If Janet were to turn on her camera and you were to look at her, I think she could really use a reading now. Would you be willing to do something like
Me?
that? Yeah. You're the one.
Okay, I'll turn on the camera. What do I have? Say it again, honey.
Yeah, just you know, just what would be useful for her to hear?
I'm right here. Over here. Anyway, I'll just stay there. Can you see me?
Okay. Can you see me? I'm trying to.
Put your camera on, and I can see you.
Tip your thing down so you can see your shoulders too.
I know it. It's hard because it'll fall on me.
That's good. That's very good. That's good.
I know, but I can't. I can't sit back.
Or just move back a little. That's good. That's good. We got your shoulders now.
There we go.
Perfect.
Back here. Now I can't see Andrew, but Andrew doesn't have his camera on. But anyway, there I am. There it goes.
Here he comes.
Okay.
There's his clothes in the shelf, a fan, and some drawers.
Try to reverse that. Hold on.
There you go. Okay. Hi.
Aloha.
Okay.
Wait a little back here.
Yeah, sure. Let's give this a shot.
I'm short.
Okay, so I don't know.
There's Sasha.
I don't know. I can't see who else is there. Just you, right?
Yeah, Sasha's in another room. So he's on. You can see Sasha too. So whatever comes through, he just turned his camera off. Whatever comes through for either of us.
Okay. It's for you. It's on this side. It's usually how many feet apart are you guys right now? He's in the next room.
Yeah, he's there's actually another room.
Okay.
Yeah, about
this
3
is
rooms
probably
away.
Just for you then. It's sometimes when it's off, it'd just be like 3 to 5 feet off if you were sitting next to someone, but this is pointing right to you. So right now I have a female that's coming through. Okay. This is a female. I'm getting now this could be living or cross. You just tell me if this makes sense to you, yes or no. That's all you have to do. Tell me yes or no. That's it. Okay. I'm getting a woman right now. She's telling me she's the emphysema woman. You have a relative that died or currently has emphysema?
My grandmother died of emphysema.
Don't tell me anything. I'm sorry. Don't just say yes or no.
Sorry.
It's
yes,
okay.
Yes.
This is how this works. I just want to explain to you, and so everyone's watching this. The first thing that'll happen is as soon as I connect to source or what's around you, I'll see a ball of energy. So you see like a ball of energy sitting next to you. They identify to me how they died. The first thing they'll say is they'll identify themselves as the smoker or the emphysema. So the first thing I said to you was the emphysema woman. I'm getting a female. Did somebody die from emphysema? Do they have lung cancer or a breathing problem, emphysema, smoking? You're telling me my grandmother passed from emphysema. Yours?
Mm-hmm.
Then that would be it, right? Like, I'm just trying to be.
Right.
This is a little different reading because, you know, we're this is a little different than I normally would do. I normally would sit with you for 90 minutes, but this is fine. This is fine. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. They're always there. So I have this female soul coming through, and she's telling me that she was the smoker. She's showing me the cigarettes, the lungs, the emphysema specifically, and she's telling me. Okay, she's telling me about her daughter. So does she have? Is this your mom's mom? What did she have?
No, my father's mother died of emphysema. But she had 6 boys, so she didn't have any daughters.
Okay.
So let's see.
You know,
she had
you may not know, but you know she had a miscarriage because she's telling me that she's with her daughter. So this would mean that
I have no idea on that.
That's
yeah,
fine.
I have no idea.
And I always encourage people to write it down or take a note because when they say that they're with someone, that means that the soul doesn't matter if it's a day old or 50 years old. When they cross, they cross. But she's saying I'm with my daughter. So she's saying she's with her daughter, and that to me would mean you're telling me she only had 6 boys or whatever. This is a miscarriage or a stillborn. Just take note. Ask someone. I would venture to say, because I've been doing this long enough, I know what I'm seeing. Someone's telling me that they were their daughter. That's how it had to be. It had to be a miscarriage, stillborn, or maybe the baby came right out and died on the spot. And she's telling me about the twins. Where did the twins fall in?
I don't know. Maybe her daughter was a twin or something. I don't know.
In your family, though, where did twins fall in? Doesn't
we
have to
have
be
0 twins. 0 twins in my family.
Okay, because she's telling me about the twins. So, okay, that's fine. When that happens, I just tell them, shh, push it to the side, give me the next thing. Okay.
Okay.
Now she's showing me when I see the flag, when I see a American flag or a flag, that means member of service. So the serviceman is her husband or the veteran. Who's the veteran?
Oh, all of her boys except for one were in one or the other war, Korean War or World War II.
Are you from America? I don't know anything about you. From the States?
Oh yeah, we've been here since the Mayflower. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't even know where you guys are from, but when they show
me, we go back Revolutionary War, Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's telling me about now this is the Peter or the Paul. This is like a P, the P sounding. Peter, Paul, the P connection to her.
I don't know a P connection to her.
Okay, because she's telling me about. It's okay. No, it's okay. This could even be. She has a son who married someone. That could be the P. Once you have a relative that marries someone, all your families are together in the afterlife, and they're just spitting down. They're just spitting down images at me, and I have to discern what I'm seeing. But I know I just saw the P figure come in with the flag tied to this woman. It's okay. It's fine. Write it down because I'm telling you, I always have people call me after that say, "Hey, Andrew, I asked this person or that person, and they said, yeah, this is Aunt Sally or Uncle Paul or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fine."
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Now she's telling me about the mechanic. The mechanic.
Yeah. Her one son was mechanical.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Now, there's no way, obviously, I could know this. I don't know anything about you.
Right.
I'm really seeing images right now, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm seeing. She's telling me about the mechanic, so it's one of her sons that has the mechanic. There's no P tied to this. Don't tell me his name. There's no P tied to him. Wife or
his
kids.
His daughter was named Paulette.
That's the P. So you see the connection?
Yeah,
I'm not making this fit right now. There's a difference. What I'm saying is she's throwing these things at me, and you're telling me, oh, Paul is this daughter who just came through with the mechanic and then the flag for the veteran. This is pretty specific, you know. This is there's John, you know, there's a million Johns, but this is specific and to the T. Now, wow. Do you know you may not remember this, but she's showing me an intubation. You know, she had to be intubated at one point.
Well, I'm not sure what happened when she was in the hospital, but she died of emphysema, but not from smoking, pollution, from Pittsburgh steel mill pollution. That gave her emphysema.
Wow.
So
yeah, I mean the emphysema.
She might have been intubated before she died, you know, because. But I was only 10 when she died, so they didn't let the kids in the hospital back then.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. She's shown. This is exactly what I'm saying, and this is how I always tell people exactly what I see, so you could really read for yourself one day. You don't even need me, but I see a scene. I see a woman in a bed, and I see an intubation going down, and then she's showing me at crossing all of the kids being there. You may not
probably
know.
Her,
Well,
probably
like,
her generation, yeah.
Yeah, because
or older ones. All I know is I was at home when they announced that she had died. Yeah, but I was really connected to her. Yeah, I was very connected to her.
Yeah, and how does the B tie in? The Bethany or the Bobby or the B? Who's that? I just got a B.
B?
B.
Bill, your dad.
Well, I have my dad's Bill, and the mechanic is Bob.
Okay, but the B is your dad?
My dad is William, so Bill, and her the mechanic son is Robert, and they call him Bob.
Right.
So there's two B's.
Okay, so this is I have no way of asking them, hey, tell me this or tell me that. They're just firing away, and it's
right.
one thing after the other. But that's fine. That's there's a clear presence of her soul right there. This woman, okay, even though you were 10 when you crossed, there's a very special connection that she has to you still from the other side. She's telling me about her granddaughter. She has granddaughter. Is there a granddaughter that she has?
Oh yeah, there's granddaughters. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm her
I have no idea.
Yeah.
She's telling me about.
I'm her granddaughter, and my sister's her granddaughter, and she has several granddaughters. Yeah.
And who's the Maggie or the Misty or the M? The Maggie, Miss, an M just shot through.
Trying to think. There was a Margaret.
Who's that? Yes, Maggie. Who's that?
No, Margaret.
Who's that?
That's one of my cousins, Margaret.
Okay.
She just died last year.
Margaret crossed.
Yeah, she crossed last year.
Wow.
In 2017. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's awful. Wow. Maggie. Okay, because once again, she was telling me about a special bond, a special connection that she has with you, but with this M that came through, and you're telling me she crossed. Wow. That's really powerful. As soon as somebody dies, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're 5 or 5 months or 5 days old, my understanding from, training over the years at Robert is, as soon as the soul crosses, your family is basically waiting there and they take in that infant or that elder. It doesn't matter. And if there's no family that they knew, if they were stillborn, the closest relatives are waiting there and they're going to take care of that soul. So nobody's ever alone. The minute they cross, and the way that we prove this is how they're able to communicate with me. There's no way I would know this stuff about you unless something is communicating with me. This is not guessing. This is I'm seeing a movement, just like I see the ETs outside. This is a movement I see. It's beautiful. It's around you. It's vibrant. It's absolutely amazing. And now the nurse. Who's the nurse?
I think Margaret was the nurse.
Yes.
Yeah, Margaret was the nurse.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Because they show me the medical sign, the red first responder sign, that medical sign. So I know that means nurse.
Right.
And we just touched on Margaret, and if Margaret was a nurse, and I'm seeing that, that's it. This is so specific. That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you knew Margaret on this? On Earth?
Oh yeah, I knew Margaret.
Okay.
She was older than I am, but I knew her.
Yes.
Yeah, she was very special, very kind and loving person.
Yeah, I could they show me these beautiful images. I'll see images of people growing up with their childhood or surroundings or family functions. They're showing me large gathering. I'm seeing the large family gathering, like I would say I'm Irish, or the typical Irish gathering where we have 1 million people. Not everyone has that, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing
Margaret's immediate family there were 12 children in Margaret's family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's showing me, I remember growing up, we'd have 50 people that, oh my God, just kids and cousins running all over. She's showing this.
Right.
I'm in the living room with her right now watching this. Wow. And they're more happy to make contact with them than we are to make it with them. You know what I mean? They're ecstatic. They're reaching out because they're just there in that state. And she's telling me, okay, the pictures that you have pictures of you and her. There's photos that you have. There's photos specifically from the holidays. She's saying to put the photos out because when you do that, that keeps their soul going. Their soul will continue to evolve, and they'll stay around. When you talk, laugh, cry about them, right now they're buzzing. Their vibration basically is raising up right now because we're recognizing that. We're respecting them. Mm-hmm. And then the way we keep them around all the time is just continue to even, you telling a relative about this experience, boom, that's going to keep her going. That's going to keep her seeing, wow, they didn't forget about me. They're still talking about me. Because a lot of people, as soon as they cross, they say, well, that's it, they're gone. I can't see them anymore, so they're not here. It's not real. Well, then how on earth am I able to do this then? Tell me that. Someone I've never met you in my life. How am I able to do that? You know, so the proof is in that, you know, and that's amazing. Now, wow. I always tell people if I see anything health-wise, just go get checked out. You never know. It's not a big deal. Just get it looked at because the worst that'll happen is it's nothing. Now, there's a test you can get, and I'll text it to you. I'll send it to you. It's called vascular diagnostics. They do a head to toe body scan. They look for blood clots in the body. It's covered by insurance. You know, my insurance is $15 to do it, whatever. I had told someone to do it once, someone very dear to me. They didn't listen. I told them 5 times. They didn't listen. Next thing you know, they had advanced cancer that almost killed them. That could have been prevented if they had gone for the test. Because I told them 3 months prior, just go get the test done. It's $15. They're showing me that exam. Now, they're showing me clotting. Now, did you ever have any clotting issues?
No.
Okay. They're just showing me this test. All that it means is just go, get the test. That's it. You'd rather be safe than sorry and say, hey, Andrew, it was nothing. It was proactive. That's fine. What I'll do on my end, and their end too, as soon as I see that in someone I know or I connect with, I immediately call you into the field, the Qi field, when I do Qigong. So whether someone asks me or not, I just bring them in and I'll do a healing for them just to be on the safe side because I know the reality of the healing effects of Qigong. But they're just showing me that. They're showing me the clot for some reason. Maybe it's nothing.
Oh, we're out of time.
Oh, sorry.
Well, thank you. It was wonderful. We'll have to have you back again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Mag Painter. Aloha. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole discretion and benefit of the host of whose program you are listening to. Revolution Radio does not endorse any commercial products, nor does it accept monetary compensation for on-air advertising of commercial products, nor will it ever. We are and shall remain 100% listener supported. Any product advertising on this program are considered used at higher risk, and Revolution Radio shall not be held liable for any claims or damages received from any product advertised within this program. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
Most freeze. That's your cerebral cortex looking for an answer it doesn't have.
See? Even your brain knows you're screwed.
Your body's filling with adrenaline right now, whether you know it or not. Your heart's beating fast. It's getting a little harder to breathe. The neurobiological system is telling it to run, but your knees are too weak to move.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination. causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story.
You're listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. Reporting to danger. Unafraid. Right here, where information never sleeps. Revolution. Radio.
Take a look around, kid. What do you see? Homes being foreclosed. People working 2-3 jobs just to put food on the table and still drowning in debt. Don't get me wrong. This country was founded on great ideals and principles. They've all been ruined by the banks. Open your eyes to banks that are robbing you. You know who my favorite president was? Who? Thomas Jefferson. Because he saw all of this coming and tried to stop it. He fought the banks. JFK too, and they killed him for it. The banking institution is more dangerous than an army, he said.
Have you heard? Metro by T-Mobile now includes Amazon Prime. Yes, enjoy the best of shopping and entertainment, movies, TV shows, music, free shipping, and much more. All included for just $40 per line for 3 lines. All on the T-Mobile network. Discover the smarter way. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. One offer per account. Offer subject to change. $12.99 per month value. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video at 480p. Capable device required. See store for details and terms and conditions.